Hey guys, welcome back to another overdue update video, and this is going to be on my entry for Rico's Nano Tank Challenge 2018. This is my 20-gallon long system that I'm setting up for that, and I know some of you have been asking for an update on the 180-gallon reef. Don't worry, I got you covered. I'll splice in a little clip of that video right here. You can check it out. It's right behind me. But I wanted to get a couple of these update videos out first, because I've got some frags in here now. So the seeds have been planted, and I want to make sure I record this as they go in, and that way we can get an idea of how things grow out throughout the year. So my vision for this tank is basically turn this into a little SPS garden. So everything that I have in there right now is an SPS frag of one form or another, and I'm gonna just load this thing up with them and see how they do. So everything in here has come out of my main display tank. So I'm gonna go through and I'll take some closer shots at some of the frags and tell you what I have in here. And then on some of these frags where I have a decent shot, or I can get a decent shot of the mother colony, maybe I'll try and splice in a little clip of that next to it, see how that works. Test my editing skills. But yeah, so I mean, this is not the final layout of everything. I just kind of was picking out some frags, putting them in here, and just kind of starting to arrange some things. And so as you can see over here, I've got this kind of branching structure over there, and I want to have different sorts of aquapora growing and branching out on there. This over here is going to be an island all full of different types of montipora, and I got all these digitatas started up top. And then I want to kind of have a lot of the plating monies down lower and cover up the sand bed with all these plating type monies. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So a couple things before I get into each of the corals. You may notice, there's some hair algae starting to grow all over places, and that is to be expected. It's a new tank, and tanks get ugly before they get pretty, typically. So yeah, the ugly is starting to show its face, but that's okay. I just need to get myself a cleanup crew, which I plan on doing this weekend. I'm going to get myself a little army of snails and some hermit crabs, see if they can take care of that. And then I need to start getting into water change schedule and all that stuff with this tank. It's basically just set up. I had some cycled media and sand and everything. I put it in there, added some additional stuff, and yeah, so this sort of thing is going to happen, but nothing to be worried about at this point. All right, I'll start down on this end. So first frag here up front, this is a green Pusillipora, and this is probably not the best example of a frag, but this is one that kind of broke off of my mother colony when it had tipped over while I was away, and I found this down in the sand bed, and it was the right size, about an inch frag. All the polyps are still there. This was broken off of the underside of the coral, so they should come back in color. This thing will turn green. This is a very easy to grow SPS coral, and yeah, this should do good for me. And then behind it is a piece of pink bird's nest. This is another pretty easy to grow SPS coral. I have a huge colony of this in the main display, and I just kind of found a little 1-inch frag with some nice branches on it, and took a little clipping of it, and that should grow into a nice little bush back there. And then this one, the first aquapora. This is an ORA coral, and this one is a Scripps aquapora, and this will be should turn a little bit more green, and this thing just kind of branches out all over the place in like a really wiry type structure, crazy branches all over the place, so hopefully that'll do well in here. And then this one, I don't know if this one has a name or not. This is just some kind of a purple aquapora. I took a little snip of that from the mother colony, and this thing should turn like a real deep purple and kind of get some green highlights on it in some of the other areas. So at least that's what it did in the other tank, and we'll see what it does in this tank. And then up top, I still have plenty of room. I'm going to get a few more frags, stick them up high. So I got some vacancies there. Back here is a Montipora spongeodes. I believe it's a Montipora. Really super bright green coral, and it gets like these brown polyps on it, and that will plate out, and then it should start to sprout up these like bumps and branches and stuff. It's a pretty interesting growth pattern, so I look forward to seeing what that one will do in here. And then this guy, I forget what that one is. I think it's another piece of that purple Acropora. And just get a little look at that right there. Oh, then I got all these barnacles here. I really want to get some fish that will hide out in these and kind of poke their heads out. So I'm thinking about barnacle blennies for the fish if I can find them. So stay tuned for that. This frag here is a little frag of red planet. That's a tabling Acropora. And, you know, funny thing, in person it is actually red. I don't know, with the camera, with this orange filter, must be filtering out the red and it looks that color. But that's another like super popular coral. A lot of people have them, and hopefully that will grow out for me. I did not have a whole lot of red planet left because my main colony had died on me, and I took a couple little clippings, and this was one of the survivors. So I'm hoping to grow it out in here and then restock it into my main tank. This guy is called the Blue Matrix Acropora. It's another one that grows pretty good for me, and this will turn a really cool shade of like powder blue. It gets really branchy, and we'll start doing crust all over there, so I hope that does well. That one back there, I believe it's a tricolor. Honestly don't know. I got it at a frag swap before. Grows into like a nice little compact bush type coral. I like that one. And then this one is like super bright green. This is Acropora vermiculata, I think. I got this at a frag swap. No, I got this at a local fish store before. This is one of the ones, or a frag off of the one that I had done that experiment with the Acro Power, and it's sort of growing really well. So I took a little frag here, and I'll be using Acro Power in this tank, and hopefully that one will take off. This one here is a nice little frag of my purple stylo. I believe it's called a Milka stylophora, or Milka stylo, and that will just kind of get these big fuzzy branches all over the place. So that'll be an interesting addition. That's another piece of that tricolor, just sitting down there. Didn't know where to put it yet. Don't know if that'll be staying in here. I might move that up into the frag tank, but that's where it's sitting right now. Back there is green bird's nest. This is one of like the corals that goes crazy in my main tank. I really have to cut it back. This thing grows super fast, so we'll see what it does in here. And then this, I believe, is a forest fire digi. If I remember, it doesn't really have the right coloration here. It was all shaded out in the main tank, and I took a frag out and put it in here. But I should kind of get like a greenish type skin on it with the red coral polyps. So we'll see if that does that. It could also just be a frag of my red digitata. I'm not quite sure. Hollywood Stunner plates out. It gets real big, super thin though. It's very brittle, easy to break them, but they grow fast. A couple of Montipora capricornis. They're plating monies, and they should do just fine in here. I got several more plating monies, different types. Purple one. Here's like a neon bright green one. It's another green one. This one has blue polyps. So I'd like to grow this one out. I only had a little bit of this left. It kind of got killed in my main tank. And there's kind of a, if I can get a good shot of that, it's kind of a brown one with these little white dots all over it. So see if that grows. And then up here on this rock, I've got 4 different types of digi so far. I got a green, a red, a blue, and the one on the right is supposed to be purple. And yeah, they should branch out all over the place. Looking forward to see them grow. And I think that's all the frags in there right now. So, I didn't skip any, but anyway, that's what I'm starting with. We'll see how they do. I've got room for some more. I plan to get them in there and see how this tank turns out. So if you have any questions, let me know, and keep your eyes tuned to here, because this is going to be a really interesting tank, I'm hoping, once things start to grow out by the end of the year. So hope you guys stick around and hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.